Despite the title of this video, this is actually going to be motivational. Check it out. What is up, side hustlers, entrepreneurs, business builders, and dream makers? Welcome to the Study Your Side Hustle Podcast, episode 80. So great to be back in your earbuds once again. Today, I am going to talk to you about some statistics, some numbers, some things that hopefully will be beneficial and motivational to you, something that might change the way you think about everything that you're pursuing in life. These are numbers that I just, I Googled them. So I went with the first source found. So the data is, I can't speak to its validity, but I'm going to speak to the point. Okay. So what are the odds that you become a billionaire in your lifetime? Statistically. Now, obviously, your life situation, your life circumstances, how much your socioeconomic class, what country you live in, all sorts of things play huge factors and can dramatically change the statistics. None of that's being taken into account. This is the statistical probability of any random person. And so take that with the grain of salt that is, right? On a global scale, what are your odds of becoming a billionaire? Well, simply put, there are 3,194 billionaires on planet Earth and roughly 8 billion people. So what are your odds? Well, that's a 0.00004%. Tiny statistic. That's about 1 in every 2.5 million people. 1 in 2.5 million people will become billionaires or are currently billionaires. So when you think about it that way, and then you realize the average person actually only ever meets 10,000 people in their lifetime, your odds of ever meeting a billionaire are virtually zero, let alone of ever becoming a billionaire. And that being said, I've met a billionaire and I know others who will be billionaires, and the trajectory they're on makes it virtually impossible that they won't be billionaires. So I can tell you that you can absolutely modify these statistics based on the decisions you make, because I'm not rich. My family's not rich. I don't come from money. But based on the decisions you make, you can actually gamify this world. You can make your probabilities of each of these steps go higher. Still, your odds of ever becoming a billionaire are pretty slim. 0.00004% is a pretty small percentage. But let's look at a different number. Okay. What are your odds of becoming what is known as a centimillionaire? Having a net worth of 100,000 to 999. I'm sorry, having a net worth of 100 million to 999 million. What is your odds of being in that range? Well, there are still about 8 billion people in the world, and there are 25,490 centimillionaires, meaning your odds of becoming a centimillionaire are 0.0003%, or, by the way, that was one less zero, so that's a big difference, because your odds are about 1 in 313,000, which you might look at that and say, hey, that's a way higher probability, right? Which makes intuitive sense. Way higher probability of becoming, having a net worth of 100 million and having a net worth of a billion. That seems reasonable. Still, your odds of ever meeting a centimillionaire are virtually zero. I've met 2 centimillionaires in my life, if you count billionaires as centimillionaires. The centimillionaire who I mentioned is the person who I know is going to be a billionaire. It's almost impossible not to be. So again, you can gamify this. You can modify this. You can increase your probabilities of hitting these numbers if they're your goals. Depending on who you interact with, you want to get the right mentorship. You actually want to build the right relationships. You want to build the right network, and you got to get the right thinking, and then you got to build a vehicle that can actually get there, right? So you got to get a modality. Oh, I know 2 centimillionaires. Forgot about one. You got to get a modality that allows for that trajectory. Honestly, I know a lot of people who do not have the goal of being a billionaire or a centimillionaire, who never want to be there, but who would like to be decamillionaires, who would like to get $10 million net worth, $10 to $99 million net worth, in that range. If that's you, what are your odds there? Well, here, it was a little harder for me to find the global statistics, so I shifted to the US. So if you're not in the US, I'm sorry. Here the motivation behind this, and realize that the numbers are going to be slightly different for you. Okay. In the US, there are 331.9 million people, 331,900,000 people in the US. And there are 1,456,336 decamillionaires. That's a big number. What percent is that? So that's a 0.439%. 0.439%. No more 0.00s. 0.439%. Or about 1 in 228 people. Remember, you're likely to meet 10,000 people in your lifetime, which means over the course of your lifetime, you are likely to meet 44 decamillionaires. your odds of meeting a decamillionaire are pretty good, which means your odds of becoming a decamillionaire are also pretty good. 0.4%. That's a pretty good odds, right? Like, does that mean that it's easy? Of course not. And that's not what I'm saying. But you could be a decamillionaire. If your goal is to be a decamillionaire and you shoot for it, by the way, most people don't ever have that goal, which might be why most people never get it, right? Most people never have the goal. If you don't have the goal and you don't shoot for it, you're not going to get it. So your odds are actually pretty good if you want to be a decamillionaire. What about a millionaire? I know so many people, that's their first goal. The first thing in their mind is, I just want to make $1 million. I want to make $1 million in a year. I want to be a millionaire. What are your odds of being a millionaire? Well, in the US, there are roughly 22 million millionaires. And again, 331 million people. So your odds of being a millionaire in the US are actually 6.53%. Or about 1 in 15, which means in your lifetime, you're probably going to meet over 600 people who are millionaires, right? So your odds of being a millionaire are actually pretty tangible, right? That's not a big goal at all, comparatively. 1 in 15. And again, most people go through their lives without ever having that goal, which means they don't hit it because they don't have the desire to hit it. If you have the desire to become a millionaire, you probably can. There's probably really good odds that you could be a millionaire if you want to be a millionaire and you focus on that goal. So what prompted this video was I watched a recording where a couple of years ago, a really big guy in the make money online space had this webinar where he had a whole lot of people attending. He had thousands and thousands and thousands of people attending, and he told them, you can all be billionaires. And well, he had almost 3 times as many people as in attendance as there are billionaires in the world, which means he was wrong. They couldn't all be billionaires. But any one of them could be a billionaire. The odds are pretty slim, but they're not zero, right? And what was the case is that every single person in that room could have became a decamillionaire. They all could have become decamillionaires or at least millionaires. That's a true statement. And that's what I'm telling you, is that you can become a millionaire. That's a true statement. You might not be able to become a billionaire statistically, though that doesn't mean it's impossible. But it's likely and reasonable you could be a decamillionaire if you want to, or at least a millionaire if you want to, right? So what that's going to take, by the way, is the target. You have to have the goal and you have to shoot for it. Discipline, focus. You have to build a vehicle that can get you there. You have to have a millionaire mindset if you ever want to become a millionaire. And it's not an easy path, but it's a simple one. You just have to grind it out, and you have to become the kind of person who can do it. And that's the kind of stuff that I like to talk about all the time on these episodes. That's the type of stuff I like to talk about all the time in my private Facebook group where I'm giving away the farm for free, basically. It's the kind of stuff I like to coach my students through. There's links to all sorts of stuff where you can get more involved in my world in the description. Otherwise, bare minimum, subscribe to this channel so that you can get more of this content. Love you so much. Talk to you soon. God bless.